And then she just like, I don't want that. And then they just immediately start making out. I was like, that escalated way too fast. And then they go through the whole scene, whatever. And then at the end of it, she goes in for round 2 with the guy. He's like, wait a second. How old are you?
I know.
Buddy, it's too late. The damage is done.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to HTGS Reviews, and people have been waiting for this one for a long time. This is a scary review. We don't know who's going to like it, who's going to hate it. It's a very controversial movie in horror history. Before we get into it, I am your host, Rob Coakley, joined as always by Dave Wilkins.
Hello, Rob Coakley.
And Jesse Wilkins.
Hi there.
And we are reviewing Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. It's been asked for. It's been anticipated. We're finally going to do it. I don't know Jesse's opinion on this movie. I don't know Dave's opinion on this movie. And they do not know mine. So I'm not sure what we're going to get for a review here. But before we do get the review, as always, Dave, can you hit us with a synopsis for Halloween 3, Season of the Witch?
I sure can. This movie was from 1982 and was directed by Tommy Lee Wallace. Dr. Dan Chalice is a small-town doctor who somehow finds the time to drink, flirt, and still stumble headfirst into a supernatural murder conspiracy. After a guy literally dies holding a Halloween mask, Dan teams up with Ellie Grimbridge, the daughter of the deceased, because nothing says healthy coping mechanism like investigating your dad's murder with a hungover stranger. Today, they uncover the deranged plot by mask maker Connell Cochran, who apparently looked at Willy Wonka and thought, not enough child death. His plan? Use a stolen boulder from Stonehenge, some silver shamrock masks, and a cursed TV commercial to melt millions of kids' faces on Halloween night. It's part horror, part sci-fi, and part fever dream that makes you wonder if maybe you're the one who accidentally watched the wrong movie. In short, it's a Halloween movie that forgot Michael Myers, but makes up for it with snakes, lasers, and the worst jingle you've ever heard in your life. So why is this movie so controversial? This movie's controversial because they fucked up. They had Halloween 1, which was a Michael Myers slasher movie. Now, the original idea that John Carpenter had for the Halloween series was this was always going to be like a big franchise. But the plan was that it was going to be a horror anthology franchise, and every year was going to be a different story. But the Michael Myers in the original was such a hit that they did Halloween 2 as a sequel to Halloween 1 about Michael Myers. So Halloween 3, the season of the Witch, comes out, and it's a completely different direction. Everyone was pissed off because they wanted more Michael Myers, and everybody hated this movie because it wasn't what they wanted it to be. But I think that if this movie, if Halloween 2 followed the original recipe and just did a different story that didn't have anything to do with Michael Myers, I think Halloween 3 would be considered one of the better of the franchise, because it absolutely is one of the better of the franchise.
Well, it has had a full renaissance, and a lot of people do hold it up more today and revere it more today than they did back then. But I'm going to let those people know that they're wrong, and this movie does suck, no matter what you call it. It's not a good movie overall. It has an interesting concept that it just does not nail. But without the only thing it nails is some of the special effects in it, and that's like one special effect. Everything else is utter garbage in this movie, and we'll get into it.
It has some flaws.
Oh, hey, buddy, does it have some flaws? Jesse, what's your overall thoughts to start things off here?
I actually went into this movie with high hopes. I was like, oh, it's gonna be like a creepy kid cult. I thought maybe the kids would be the murderers, judging by the poster where you get the Halloween trick-or-treaters running around. And we got robots. And yeah, like you said in the opening, the worst jingle of all time. I was like, I think my face is going to melt if I hear this one more time. It was so bad, and it was just over and I get why they were doing it, like they're hypnotizing the kids or whatever. But it was it was a movie. It was a movie that I didn't enjoy. So we will get into some of the issues with the movie. I will say there were some creepy elements in some of these scenes. It wasn't all bad for me. I think if I had seen it as a child, I would appreciate the movie more now today. I thought the scenes with the bugs eating faces, I thought that was pretty cool. I thought there was some good lighting in this movie. I thought that there was, you know, early 80s acting, but I thought overall it was okay. It was just the robot thing and like the factory thing and all of that it just didn't gel. But there were some decent kills in the movie as well. So I thought the drill scene was particularly good. I wish they didn't cut away from it, but it was well acted. I thought the way that her feet were shaken before the drill went into her temple there was pretty cool. And then you got some really bad ones with like lasers shooting out of people's mouths and stuff, which I enjoyed, but that doesn't make them good. So there was some good and some bad, and some serious flaws with the plot in this movie. And
Oh yeah.
but overall, it was a movie.
See, I like Season of the Witch better than I like the original Halloween with Michael Myers. And I think that the concept is stronger. I think that it's actually a scarier movie. I think
the concept is stronger. How is the concept stronger?
A guy walks around killing people. I mean, it's fine. It's a slasher.
You're saying the original one's got a. I thought you meant the Season of Witch had a stronger concept.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, like the concept of Halloween with Michael Myers is a stronger concept. It doesn't get stronger than a guy breaks out of a mental institution and goes and murders people. That's your classic slasher, sure. But this one, they tried something different, and I thought it was pretty well executed. This is a scary movie, I think. I mean, it didn't really age well. Some of it did, some of it didn't. But I think the concept is actually terrifying. This evil corporation, they distribute a whole bunch of masks to kids. All the kids wear the masks, and then they have that commercial that triggers the masks to basically melt their face, and insects and bugs crawl out of their heads and stuff. It's terrifying. It's actually
that was a terrifying concept, but I never got a full grasp on why. What was their end game?
It's one of those. It's an allegory for the evil corporation is gonna kill the kids or whatever. It's your typical corporation bad guy, consumer victim, whatnot. That's probably what.
But you usually get like an underlying like profit reason for it, right? Like, so the corporation is, just to throw something out there, like they're putting cancer in the cheeseburgers because they're getting paid off by the hospitals who are treating the cancer. Like there's usually a reason for it, and the reason is money. What money are they getting by killing all their customers?
Well, I think it's a metaphor for greed, right? I think it's you're not. Well, but
it's the opposite of greed, though.
Well, it's a metaphor for corporate greed. The corporation is the bad guy. They don't need to show that they're making money. They're showing that instead of profit, the evil is killing the kids with the masks, right? I think it's a metaphor more so than like a comparison.
Right. But do you understand what I'm saying? Where it's like,
I do.
I understand the metaphor. I just didn't get the end game. And if it was a strong metaphor, it would be like, oh, they're killing these off because they're going to make money because they own a bunch of funeral homes. And there's a monetary gain at the end of this for this corporation to spend all of this money and do all this research to kill these kids. But why? And it's just because they're evil, so maybe, but I just feel like it's a weak concept unless I missed something.
I think you're missing my point. I think they are taking I'm sorry. Did you want to talk before I answer Jesse's direct question to me?
I wanted to talk at some point, but just continue.
I annoy you by answering the question?
Because I have the answer to it, but you guys have been going back and forth for 10 minutes, so just keep going.
Now go ahead.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
You answer okay. I was saying I think that they replaced the profit with the evil, right? In order to demonstrate that corporate profit is evil. That's what I think. But Rob, if you have a different take, let's hear it.
I'm pretty sure at one point in the movie that they just straight up say that they are doing this to reshape the world the way that they want the world to be. Like, that's why they're getting rid of the kids, so that they can mold the world the way that they would like to mold the world. That was their whole purpose behind doing this. So
Yeah, I just
That-
thought it was. I just thought it was weak. I think I
not-
remember that
I
part.
agree.
But yeah. So you agree? But like mold the world without the kids. Like you need the kids to mold the world. Like so what? This generation dies off and you got nothing. I don't know.
Well,
So
you create your own generation, right? Like that's the whole point is you create the next generation. But it's not told well if that's what they're
Well,
trying to do.
they didn't drive that home. Like you have the
Right.
generation right there. These kids didn't do anything wrong, you know. So it's like I could get it if they were trying to do like a cleanse the world because these kids are lost type thing. They just didn't make the message clear. And I understand what you're saying, where what you're saying, Dave, which is their payoff was just being evil. But it's like I don't know. It just didn't. The message didn't drive home of why they're doing this in the first place. And I don't know, the robot thing threw me. Like I understand they're trying to do something different, but it just didn't.
Yeah. Well, I always say that like I don't like if when you're trying to portray a message with a movie, I don't like being beat over the head with the message. I like when it's more abstract. This one just might have been too abstract.
Yeah.
Right. Like if you
let's-
take like a modern comparison, by the way, we're going to spoil this movie. If you take like a modern comparison, like maybe like Stranger Things, where you have the factory, you have the kids in there, they're doing evil stuff, they're doing these tests, and it's basically to, you know, like kind of create super weapons. Like these humans have these superpowers. Let's use them. Their corporation was doing evil tests and torturing kids basically. But their goal was to create like super soldiers basically and use them as weapons. Like there was a clear goal in mind in that. Same with like X-Men and stuff like that, right? So you have like all of these. It's not a new concept of movies portraying corporations as bad, which a lot of them are. A lot of them do evil shit, but the end game is money. We just didn't get a clear message in this movie, and I think that's where they missed the mark.
Let's rewind to the beginning of this movie because I wrote one note for this entire movie. Everything else I sort of have in my head. I have one note written, and it's about the very beginning of the movie when the guy's running away. We don't know what's going on. The guy's just running away from the factory workers, and we find out are robots. One of my favorite scenes in this movie is when he's like on the ground and he's getting choked by the robot, and he's like yanking the wedge out from the tire.
The wedge with the 40-foot chain for whatever reason.
It's like the guy's the robot's not even reacting to this whole thing happening, and then the car hits them doing negative 10 miles an hour. You're just like, none of this would hurt anybody. This would
Yeah.
be fine.
So what's funny is like it made a lot more sense when you realize that he was a robot, because like his reaction, like he didn't react to it like a human would, which is if you see a car rolling at you, you're gonna get out of the way. He just didn't get out of the way, and then just did the slowest jizzle crunch.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah,
Definitely wasn't
was
a
dumb
Terminator
scene.
model.
Yeah, it reminded me of the scene from like Austin Powers where like the security guard had all day to get out of the way of the steamroller, and he just didn't. It was basically that played out.
Yeah, so that cracked me up right at the beginning. Like, this is not good. This needed to be shot some other way. We needed to speed some footage up or something. This is a choice to start your movie. This is such a choice to start this movie.
Yeah. Also, my first issue with the movie was when he first checks into the motel room with the girl, and he's like being a little bit of a gentleman, where he's like, you know, if you're not comfortable with this, there's only one bed here. I can go get my own room, or I'll sleep in the car. And I was like, this guy's a gentleman. And then she's just like, you know, I don't want that. And then they just immediately start making out. I was like, that escalated way too fast. And then they go through the whole scene, you know, whatever. And then at the end of it, she goes in for round 2 with the guy. He's like, wait a second. How old are you?
I know.
Buddy, it's too late. The damage is done. On round 2, you're going to ask how old she is, buddy. Like, this is, you're a bad man. You're a bad man who was not really concerned about that in the first place. But
yeah, different time, because that would never happen.
What an alarming sequence of events.
Yeah. I mean, he's not a great guy throughout the movie, right? He's hitting on every single person he can. He doesn't go see his kids. He drops them immediately to just go spend time with this girl that he just met. He wasn't as interested in the case as he was getting to go out with that girl. He's like, I can't come see the kids today. I'll see them on Halloween. I got things to do. It's like,
yeah,
dude, come on. He's just hitting on everybody throughout the entire movie.
I got more questionably young women to talk to.
I know. Yeah, I had that in my head too. I was like, dude, like that's the question you ask now? That question should have been before you got in the car on that trip.
Yeah.
How old are
That
you?
question
Am I
should have been
kidnapping you?
better. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Before you let her in your car and drive off to a motel, like that's a bad. I've seen people get
Yeah,
people.
before you
I
cross
watch
town
people get
lines.
beat up online for that kind of stuff all the
Yeah.
time. That's my whole algorithm is watching those kind of people get beat up.
Yeah, that was certainly a choice that they made in this movie. I you know what I love about 80s movies too is the 80s have this unique distinction of people that are starting to act well. I'm not saying everyone acted well in this movie, but people that just have like a normal acting style. And you have some of the older actors that are still acting like it's movies from like the 40s and 50s.
Yeah.
Yeah, they act like
You-
it's just like a Broadway play or something like that. Like you get you're absolutely right. You get your people who are absolutely overacting, like being silly and goofy.
Yeah.
Which is every character in this movie besides the main characters.
Yeah. If you're over 50 in a movie in the 80s and like a horror movie, especially, you are just playing it up to the nines, like Crazy Ralph and Friday the 13th. He's just so over the top in that movie. And then you just like, and I love the villain in this. Like, I actually enjoyed the villain because he was just so over the top. And I thought he played a great villain. Although, you know, everything else around it is questionable. I still like the owner of the corporation because I was like, he's just a dastardly villain from like cartoons in this movie.
Yes. So there's a few scenes that were good until they weren't. And we're kind of jumping around a little bit, but when he's looking for the girl, I think he was looking for the girl and he ends up in like the factory or whatever. And he goes up to that old woman who's like knitting.
Mm-hmm.
And she ends up being a robot, but that scene was creepy as hell. Just like the old lady sitting there, and then he goes over and like just touches her head and it falls off. Okay, so there's an issue. It's because when he goes in, he's like, "That's one of my finest prototypes." It's like, really? Like you didn't fasten the head at all. Like you didn't. The head just falls off. That's a massive issue with your with your prized prototype right there.
Well, it was an old robot.
Yeah,
Sure.
he did say it was one of his first prize prototypes or something.
Oh, I took that as it's my prize, like it's my new, it's my, I guess, prototype. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Either way, head shouldn't have fallen off that easily.
Probably
But
not.
it was creepy. What a creepy scene.
Yeah. Yeah, let's sort of go through this on the timeline because we get the hospital stuff, right? Where he's hitting on every single nurse that he can find. But in the middle of all that, we get the robot coming into the room to kill the guy that they couldn't finish off in the beginning. And I thought this was kind of a really cool scene where he goes in there and the robot takes care of business. He like sneaks into the hospital, but then he just doesn't care that he sneaked in because clearly he was just going to destroy himself anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So on the way out, he just makes himself really visible. And I was like, this is an interesting turn of events. And then he gets in the car and he just starts dousing himself with the gasoline.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
I have an
this
issue
is
with that.
wild.
This is before you knew it was a robot, so it was a disturbing scene to watch.
But there's also a massive flaw. So he was clearly programmed and issued to go kill, right? And they didn't really care about the getaway. But it's a massive plot hole that he sets himself on fire in the car because when they obviously go check on him and try to tend to the body, they're going to realize it's a robot. So it's like he should have been programmed to get away and don't give up the fact that there are killer robots roaming around town. That blows your cover.
Mm.
So I thought that was
It was
really
an explosion.
stupid,
I feel
right?
like the robot parts in the explosion could have got mixed up with the car parts and they've been like, where'd the body go? Must have got incinerated.
Yeah, that's kind of what they were playing at for a bit. And then the other reason why I was getting caught was because someone was heavily looking into it. So I think it was part of the plan, to be honest, was to just try to incinerate the body as much as they could.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It just seemed like because he got in the car uncontested. The robot could have just drove away and left. Like it wasn't like he was being pursued heavily. I don't know. Not there.
Could have got pursued and then caught, and then they find out he's a robot. I don't know.
Right.
Or you burned yourself and they found out it was a robot anyways because all his robot skeletons there.
Yeah, maybe.
There wasn't many robot parts left, though.
It was an explosion. It wasn't just a fire. It was an explosion.
That's true.
Yeah.
Explosions destroy things.
I think it's a smart plan overall. I think it could have, to your point, though, Jesse, it could have been done better.
Mm-hmm.
You could have made sure that you absolutely incinerate the entire body and all the parts within it somehow.
Just
I don't know.
get
I feel like
away.
I feel like we're nitpicking a little bit about this. I think that it was the point was driven home. This guy went in, got it done, got into the car, doused himself with gasoline, and then lit himself on fire before we knew he was a robot. Very disturbing. And just contrast this with the last two Halloween movies. They were super like just PG, guy walking around, cutaway kills. And this one was the first one where you actually have like really disturbing kills,
Yeah.
really shocking, truly. And that's why I think this one is set apart from the first two.
Yep.
The second one, I have to watch the second one again. I thought the second one dialed it up a notch, if
It might have.
if I recall.
But the second one was definitely a worse movie than the first one. So
Oh, well, that's not a question.
Yeah.
That's not what we're debating right now.
no, I know.
I think another scene that actually looked really good and really scary was, I think it was the first mask kill, when you first
Mhm.
realized that the mask would kill someone, and they showed the face actually for a long time, and the lips were all cracked and spread out and stuff like that. It actually was like really disturbing. I was like, this is actually really good for, what was it, 1982? This movie came out. Like, it was,
Yeah.
thought it was pretty solid.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons why I have this movie ranked higher than the first two, is just how true, like they got horror better. Like they got the horror aspect down better in this movie than they did with the other two. The first two movies were not scary. This one was the first one that I thought was actually scary.
I think I agree with you. I think there are some great horror elements in this movie. I think everything around it is what the problem is, though. Like I think to get to those scenes, you're almost so taken out of it that when you hit those scenes, like they're great, but then it's just I'm just picking out so many things throughout the movie that I'm like, why do they do this? Why is this something that they decided to do? Like, and it's stuff that's so easy. Like on Halloween Day, they're about to enact their plan. They're in their factory and in their laboratory with all the scientists still running tests on the mask that they're not even going to send out because it's Halloween Day, so no one's going to get these masks. They're still boxing up, like it's still operate. Like it was so, like it took me so out of it just watching everything that was happening around. It's like they shouldn't be doing all the stuff that they're doing right now, because all of this should have already been done. We're already done with all of this. And why are they waiting till the day before Halloween to test the mask? Like that seems great, but that should have been done 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Right? Have they ever heard of time zones? These are things that I'm wondering throughout the entire movie.
There are definitely some continuity issues, obviously. I think this plot was a little bit more convoluted than was necessary, and I think that hurt it for sure in the long run. But as far as Halloween movies, I think this is one of the scariest before, or at least of the older ones. And I think that counts for something. Also, say what you will about the concept of this movie. The first movie, you have mass killer kills people on Halloween. Same with the second one. The third one is Halloween is the killer. That's a cool concept. I like it. It's original, and it was well executed as far as shock and horror goes. Was the plot funky? Sure, but I mean, this is a scary movie, and it nails the Halloween vibe too.
This is the perfect movie to remake. Like we complain about remakes and stuff like that. There is a good concept here. Again, the kills, like as Jesse brought out, like the mask kill is terrifying. It's scary to look at. They went to a place that a lot of people don't go to with killing, the kids in Halloween. So it's like a whole different level of scary. You tighten up the stuff around the scary parts of this movie, and you amp up the tension. This movie can be phenomenal. Like this could be a great movie. It's too dumb around everything. It's just so dumb around everything else. It's insane.
Another scene that I had a problem with was towards the end of the movie. He's going through the factory. He's basically trying to like set everything up to like self-destruct or whatever before he drops all the evil chips down on them. And I don't know if you guys caught this as well, but he goes up to their like weird computer system, looks like something out of Reactor 4 of Chernobyl. It's got like the glowing buttons, and he knows exactly what buttons to press. Yeah. It's like, how would he know that? Like they're just random buttons. He just goes up and hits the correct sequence for the self-destruct or whatever. I'm like, well, that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And nobody did anything about it. These are murderous robots, trained killers. And this was the only scene in the whole movie that the evil villain boss guy, like, he just had no lines. He just sat there and just like,
and they just keep cutting to him, and he's not moving, and he's like
the whole time
floor.
he's just watching it all go down. Like, dude, your entire operation is crumbling around you. Everyone's gonna die, and you don't even say stop. No, like nothing. They gave him no lines in this whole part. It was just him, just
not even moving away
Just
from the
having a
stuff.
look.
He should die right there too.
yeah.
Well, he could have died right there, and it wouldn't have mattered because the plan was already executed, right?
But it wasn't.
It was, though.
Because time zones. It
Oh,
doesn't make sense.
also stupid. He just calls the TV network.
I know.
Like,
I
you
know.
sound like a psychopath. And he's just like, everyone's gonna die if you don't take this commercial off the air. Like, dude, I work at a radio station. We get crazy people who call up all the time, people who have problems with commercials. Why are you airing this? This is not, I thought this was America. You know, it's stuff like that. And you're like, okay, buddy, yep, have another drink. And I just hang up on him. That's exactly what would have happened in that scenario. Like, people don't take those people seriously. You can't call up and be like, everyone's going to die if you play this commercial. The guy's like, all right. You're like, what are you talking about? There's no shot.
And there's 4 kids in front of him. Why isn't he ripping their masks off before they
like, hey,
watch that?
Get away from the TV, kid. Turn it off. Like, dude, yeah, like everything in that scene was just like, this is all going about it the wrong way. So I get it. He's trying to save the country or the world or whatever, but it's like, no one would have ever taken that phone call seriously. Imagine explaining that to your boss. Like, yeah, I know they paid a bunch of money for that advertising, but some guy called up and said that we're all going to die if we play the commercial. So I pulled it off the air.
And even
Kids.
if he's successful, like, it's
Yeah.
just the locals channels. Like, you're not getting
Also, you pulled it off the air. That still doesn't prove that you were right about that, because nobody died. You know, I don't know. It's just
he's not calling the head of NBC and ABC and CBS at that point in time. Like, he doesn't have that number.
Who did he call, and why did he have the number?
I'm guessing he called the local channel, like the local, like CBS and NBC affiliates, because whatever. I like that's who else is he calling? He's not. Like, at least he didn't go, hello, operator, connect me to the president. I need to let him know. Like,
yeah, I guess.
I mean, that's the only way it could be even more ridiculous, right? It's
Actually, I
thing.
think I would have preferred that. I think I would have preferred he called the president, because the president would have had the power to get that thing pulled off the air. A random guy on the phone who never even identified himself is not going to have the power to have those things pulled off the air. Like,
I'm not 100% sure the president would have the power to remove a commercial from a radio station.
I would assume that he has more pull than a random guy on the phone screaming about everyone's going to die. I don't know.
Maybe.
And why isn't he hightailing it to his house? His wife didn't believe him about the situation. He has 2 kids. Why aren't you trying to get to your house and use your house phone? Right? Like, let's rip those masks off. I know people probably.
I think we've established that he doesn't care about his kids. He was just at a motel with some 14-year-old girl. I don't think he cares about his wife. I think we've established that this guy was a huge piece of shit in this movie.
I also don't think he was close to his house. I think that they drove far to get to this place.
Well, he was back in town, because remember, he was the guy from the gas station was in the hospital earlier in the movie.
Oh, right.
And he's like, "Hey, I know you."
Nope.
So he's back in his town.
So it had some flaws. It had some flaws. It was still a scary movie, and that's what I want out of a Halloween horror movie. I want it to be scary. So it hit the one.
There's a good point. Sorry to cut you off, but this is very important. I didn't realize that this was actually Drake May's first gig, so I'm glad that he got his the bartender. So it's pretty good. Shout out to Drake May.
One more scene we need to talk about before we give some scores is when he fights his robot girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God! Yeah, I'm so glad you brought this up, because I forgot about this. There was a massive flaw. Well, there was a lot of flaws in this scene.
I
will say this: for some reason, I didn't see this coming.
Oh, you didn't?
I don't know how I didn't see it coming, but I didn't see it coming. I was like, good. Yeah, I get it now. Yep.
I can't talk because I've seen this movie before, so
yeah,
I vaguely remembered it, and I can't tell you if the first time I watched it, if I knew that was going to happen or not. Like, it just
same.
In hindsight, it's the most predictable thing ever. I don't know how I didn't predict it. I'm usually good at these things.
Yes. But yeah, I think it starts off good. I actually think the scene starts off fine, and then
Yeah,
it,
too much face fondling. There was a lot of face fondling in between the strangles, and then there was a big old problem. For one, like the limbs just kept trying to strangle him, which I thought was kind of funny. Because the first thing I would have done when he closed the door was like, dude, you didn't throw the arm out the window. You're just gonna drive away with the arm. But there was a big problem when the arm came back to choke him. Is at one point the arm let up its grip, and he's got the arm like this, and he's clearly just still holding the arm there. It's like, dude, it's no longer choking you. Drop it. Why are you still holding it there? Like the only thing, because the hand's literally like twisted forward like this. For audio listeners, it lets go of the throat, and it's basically just got his thumb on his chin, but the arm is still holding strong there. Like he's clearly just, and obviously he was, but he's clearly just holding the arm there. Like, dude, let it go. Drop the arm. It is trying to kill you. It stopped choking you. Let go of it. He let it re-strangle him in between a few more face fondles.
They kept going back to it just too many times. And then the arm dies. I'm like, why is it dying now? Like, what is the purpose of that? It was pretty silly at the end of it. It started off kind of scary. Then it was just like, all right, we are going too far with this. We let this scene play way too long. So.
Yeah, then you finally got the arm off of him, and you're like, oh, it's over. Then like the headless corpse like tries one last time. He's like, oh, I'll get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, it turns into a real Abbott and Costello scene.
Yeah, just wouldn't end.
Did you love this scene, Dave? As someone who's going to give this movie a 5,
it was a fun scene. I had fun with this. I have fun every time I watch this movie. I don't watch it every Halloween, but I've watched it a few times. It's a fun one. I enjoy it.
All right. Well, I think we've sort of hit everything. Do we want to give this movie some scores?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dave, go ahead and just throw your 5 out there.
No, I'm not giving it a 5. I am giving it a 3.5, 3.5. I think it's a fun Halloween movie. I think that it did not age particularly well, but some of the practical effects did hold up. I liked that it didn't have a happy ending. I liked that it was kind of a little cliffhanger ending there, left a little bit to the imagination, and it's a fun, scary Halloween movie.
Jesse?
I got this one at a 3.3. It was fun. I will agree with you. It had the Halloween elements, like literally almost a full point off for the Halloween song, like the jingle, the commercial.
No, dude, so the jingle had to be better. You can't make a good jingle.
That's okay. They played it too much.
Fair.
It was sometimes it would loop 6 times. You're like, dude, I get it. The commercials. It was the Cars for Kids commercial. Great cause. Terrible commercial. I shut it up. Like, I have never shut off my radio faster than when that commercial comes on.
You know the phone number, though. It's an effective jingle.
It is, and I keep donating my cars. That's absolutely detrimental to my life. But yeah, too much of that. It's 80s, so like you got to kind of excuse the special effects. I did not really like the robot angle. Thought they could have had some more clarity on the motive behind all of this. And the main character was a creep, but overall it was watchable. And actually some of the kills were good. Some of there were actually scary moments in this movie. It was much different than the other Halloween movies. So it's above average.
Yeah. The woman in the hotel kill was also really effective. We didn't even bring that one up. That was good. I'm going to give it a 2.6 because it does have some really good kills, and that's all it has going. And it's a Halloween, it's a horror movie, so your kills are important, but your entire movie can't just be the kills, and everything around this movie is terrible. I love it because it's fun, but it's a 2.6. Like it's a fun movie to watch for Halloween. It's like a fun bad movie, but it's bad. And if you're watching it, you're gonna want to pick out all the flaws. So 2.6 for me overall. That's going to do it for us, though. Let us know what you think of this movie. I have a feeling that the range of scores that people are going to give us for this one is going to range from like a 0.5 to a 4.5. Let us know why when you leave your score on this one, what you like, what you don't like about this movie. For myself, for Dave, for Jesse, that was Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. Finally, we've reviewed it. We'll revisit it, I don't know, 10 years from now. and see what we think about it then. Get you guys next time. Have a happy Halloween. Peace.